Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Coach YouTube channel, Donks the Born Built for Theme Park News, and finally we have the Scarefest lineup at Alton Towers Resort for 2019. It's all been announced, it's all on the website, it's all over Instagram right now. So I'm going to be doing a full lineup announcement, the family spooks, the thrilling mazes, it's all going to be revealed in this video. Alton Towers officially announcing the 2019 Scarefest lineup. Now, of course, we already did a Halloween update teasing the possibility of some species returning, and of course we already had an idea that that was going to be involved in lineup. Also, we saw that Project 42 was still set up around Subterra's site, so we had an idea that that could be coming back. There was loads of rumours being circulating about House of Monsters. Is that coming back? We had, you know, things about the welcoming. Was that going to come back? We have the full lineup now, so let's get on with Alton Towers Scarefest 2019. So you can see on your screen right now, Fandabidosi, that is the Mutiny Bay courtyard that used to be home, of course, to the welcoming. You can see it all set up. However, there's going to be a brand new Mutiny Bay family scare maze. Now this is, well, the tickets for this cost £5 per person, so it's not going to be involved in a scare maze combo ticket, because this is a family maze, or treat it like a spooktacular family fun on the website. This is Darkest Depths, so this is a Mutiny Bay, this is a pirate themed family maze. So take a ghostly voyage where you'll come face to face with the legendary creatures of the deep. So I love the fact they're using the Mutiny Bay theme again for this maze. So like I said, it's £5 per person, book in advance to avoid disappointment, for Darkest Depths. Of course, the Alton Towers Dungeon is going to be open. You have Freaky Fun Zone, so join our 5 freaky Halloween characters in a colourful playground with amazing shows, meet and greets, photo opportunities, and much more. Patch's Halloween parties bigger and better than ever. Ever. Skelvin shares his spooky stories with you. Phil and Franklin teach you everything they learnt at Ghost School, and Gretel needs your help with her magical spells. And this is included in your admission ticket, located on the front lawn. So this is going to be right at the bottom of Tower Street. In CBeebies Land, we have the CBeebies characters excited for their very first Halloween party, right in CBeebies Land. Dress up in your favourite costume and join them live in big fun showtime as they dance, play games, and learn all about spooky things. The CBeebies Funsters host a variety of Halloween-themed events and activities live in the Big Fun Showtime Arena, sing spooky songs, learn crazy dance moves, play games, and explore and help the Funsters get ready for the CBeebies Monster Ball. Now, of course, there's also the Alton Ancestors. They've risen from the grave once more and returned to their old stomping ground. They can be found flash mobbing Tower Street in the morning and then retiring to Gloomy Wood later on, plus appearing near the towers in the afternoon. Learn their dance moves and join in. Standing still is not an option. We like fun here at Alton Towers, that's why. And finally, for the family stuff, we have the Freaky Fun Squad. So Dr. Victor Henry Stein created a potion/machine that turned the Freaky Fun characters into human counterparts. The only side effect is that the Freaky Fun Squad can only speak in song. This will be an all-out rock and roll monster party featuring our live vocalists, musicians, and character performances. So that's the family stuff then at Alton Towers Scarefest for this year. I'm going to go on about the thrilling mazes in a little bit, but I think, and this is the reason why I put the image of the welcoming from last year in that Mutiny Bay courtyard, because I believe that is, well, from the looks of it, that could be the location for this brand new Mutiny Bay maze, Darkest Depths. We don't know exactly where this maze has been located. However, from the sounds of it, it could be in that Mutiny Bay courtyard, replacing the welcoming. But we can't confirm that, you know, for sure. But Darkest Depths sounds absolutely amazing. It's a family maze, so, you know, there isn't going to be that much scares. I believe that could be a scare zone. We don't know exactly if it's a maze or a zone, but we do know it's part of the family stuff on the website, so we know it's not going to be, you know, a massive thing. This will just be, you know, quite minimal scares, maybe, if it's on the family section. I mean, the Alton Towers Dungeon's on the family section and the thrill section, so, you know, maybe Darkest Depths can have a few thrilling scares, so it's going to be, I mean, this maze is apparently age rated between 8 and up, so I guess this will not include that many big scares, like extreme scares, so this is going to be very much a family zone. But I really like the look of the this Darkest Depths. I think the logo for it, if you look on the website, on the family part of the Scarefest website, you look at the logos for each attraction. The actual main mazes, Project 42 and something else, which I'll talk about in a bit, don't have logos, but if you look on there, you've got the logo for Subspecies, Altonville Mine Tours, and on the family section you've got all the logos for their sort of events and attractions and activities, including the logo for the brand new Darkest Depths. So it's going to be really nice to see that when it's up and running. Like I said, it's been a dream to go back to Alton Towers Scarefest. The last time I was at Scarefest, I didn't do any of the mazes, but it was 2011, if I remember correctly. So Carnival of Screams was there. This was the year before the Sanctuary. Terror of the Towers, What Lies Within, that was there. I'll get on to Terror of the Towers in a bit, because I'm sure if you've seen it by now, you'll know what's coming. But the family stuff, very, very nice. Really excited for that. Now the thrilling mazes. So I'm going to put an image on your screen now. Fandabidorzi. That is the towers itself, and this is why. This is why. And I knew when Terror of the Towers took a break in the 2018 Halloween event, I knew it was coming back in a big way. So basically, if you don't know the history of this maze, basically it first operated in that first 2002 Halloween Spooktacular as Terror in the Towers. Then it became the Budfest Banquet. Then it became Terror of the Towers, What Lies Within. The route was changed just a few years ago. And then, of course, it was retired for 2018. Terror of the Towers is back, but in a different way. This is the attic Terror of the Towers. This is just amazing. Venture into the attic Terror of the Towers, but what will you discover there? That's all it says on the website. So this is for ages 15 and over. Tickets cost £8. Book in advance to avoid disappointment. Then you've got Project 42, inviting valiant volunteers to enter the underground violence compound in a bid to outwit what awaits them inside. 15 and over, and it's included in the Scare Combi Ticket, £20 per person, if you look on the website for more details. Also in that combi ticket, Subspecies The End Games, that returns for this year. Altonville Mine Tours, in the combi ticket, that returns this year, both of them 15 and up, and of course, Rides in the Dark. So there we go. So the Scare Combi Ticket is Subspecies, Altonville Mine Tours, and Project 42. Well, from the looks of it, it seems as if, looking at the Scare Combi Ticket, it's Project 42, Subspecies, and the Altonville Mine Tours. And of course, the only maze not included is the brand new maze for 2019, the Attic Terror of the Towers. I cannot wait for that, because like I said, it's been a dream to go back to Scarefest, but this time actually do the Halloween mazes. I mean, obviously you don't want to plan Halloween too early, but I am looking at a couple of events this year. Not definite yet, but there are a few events that jump out to me in excitement. York Maze Halloween was brilliant last year. I want to go back to that for the opening night, hopefully. I know I've been contacted a couple of times by Tully's Shoptoberfest at Tully's Farm. That would be a brilliant event to go to. There's other great events out there, of course, that I don't think I'll be able to do, but look great in the future. Fright Nights, Extreme Scream Park, but Scarefest is one of those events which I would love to visit this year. Especially this year with the return of Terror of the Towers in a brand new format known as the Attic Terror of the Towers. Of course, it was a bit strange for me to see Subspecies coming back ever since people gave it a few mixed reviews on a couple of run-throughs, and the fact that it needed to be changed, so maybe they'd done some extra bits inside. We saw that Subspecies were being constructed with the containers outside the towers, sort of on the way down to X Sector, so we knew that was coming back. Nemesis of Terror site was still set up as Project 42. I believe another company held a few events in them a few months ago, or a couple of months ago, so that was all set up for Project 42, so we kind of knew that was coming back. Again, with the same for Altonville Mine Tours. We kind of heard the Mine soundtrack, or someone, well, to be fair, someone told me just a few days ago, I think, or a week ago at least, or at maximum, the Mine soundtrack was being played somewhere, so I kind of had an idea from that source telling me this, that Altonville Mine Tours is coming back, but of course we've got this surprise announcement that Terror of the Towers is coming back as the Attic Terror of the Towers. Which is a very nice thing. I mean, the rhetorical question in that sense is, what will you discover there? you know, is this going to be like an extension to the Urban Explorer story? Or I think, from the sounds of it, it seems like they're going away from the Urban Explorers and they're sort of diving into this attic, and the fact that maybe, I don't know, I'm sort of making a prediction here, but I think it could be the spirits of the towers are hiding in the attic and they're just waiting for valiant guests to take on the attic. So I'm guessing the whole backstory of this brand new version of Terror of the Towers is set in the attic. So it's going to be interesting to follow, you know, what could we see from this. And of course, like the family version, the Alton Towers dungeon, of course, will be operating in Halloween, which is kind of what we expected. I hope they do what they did. I believe they do it at your dungeon sometimes in the summer, when they do dungeon lates. So hopefully they do dungeon lates in the future for the Alton Towers dungeon. Can't wait to experience that, by the way, in about 10 days time. I cannot wait. It's countdown to the trip. I'll get some subspecies construction, maybe some construction of Altonville mine tours, maybe try and get some shots of Project 42 while I'm down there in 10 days time. See if I can spot anything with the attic Terror of the Towers when that's being constructed for Halloween. You know, we're already getting the lineup, so it looks like they're going to really start construction. I think the courtyard will probably stay closed if that's been transformed into that family maze, Darkest Depths. So yeah, so you can see why I put the image of the Welcoming on, because I think that's the rumoured location for the Darkest Depths Mutiny Bay zone. And of course you see why I put an image of Terror of the Towers / just the Towers on there early for the thrill market. You can see why I've done that with this new announcement of the attic Terror of the Towers. So I'm really excited for this year's Scarefest lineup. It's really interesting to see they've announced it now, because last year it was sort of mid-July when we got the announcement. So I've got a strange feeling they're going to do a lot of work and a lot of construction and foundation work to build up those mazes. And of course, you know, last year we had Subspecies, Project 42, Altonville Mine Tours, The Welcoming, House of Monsters. So I guess that sort of Mutiny Bay zone where The Welcoming is, they're sort of replacing that with this new Darkest Depths. And like I said, Terror of the Towers taking a year off, getting it refreshed, getting a brand new story, which is kind of what I predicted for this year. I wanted to see Terror of the Towers come back the year after, when we knew it wasn't coming to last year's event in 2018. So I kind of had an idea that Terror of the Towers would come back, but in a brand new format. I was right, and I can't wait to see what that's going to turn out like. So big news coming out of Alton Towers Resort today. You know, I've still got the 2 videos that I pre-recorded this morning, you know, to upload from the Rolantica's construction site and Busch Gardens Williamsburg's height waiver that I've still got to upload. So it'll be editing whilst you're watching this. But yeah, full lineup, Alton Towers Scarefest 2019. Let's recap. Obviously you've got the shows and everything like that, like the Freaky Fun show and the Alton Ancestors. I love seeing the Alton Ancestors every single time I watch anyone else's vlogs. I always look out for the Ancestors because their entertainment standard is brilliant. There was no mention about the Galactica Airway Cadets that there was last year, so maybe that's gone for this. It seems like that's gone. Again, no mention of the Scare Zone that didn't come in last year, the Freak Show that sort of last operated in 2017 or 2018. So again, no real mention of that, but again, we could see that as a surprise announcement, but I highly doubt it. So to sort of recap the main stuff this year, you've got Subspecies coming back, Project 42 coming back for a 2nd season at the resort, Altonville Mine Tours, Legend of the Skin Snatchers coming back. New for this year, the attic Terror of the Towers, that's its full name. And of course in Mutiny Bay, what looks to be replacing the Welcoming in that Mutiny Bay courtyard. Of course they had plans for a smokehouse restaurant, that got cancelled. Then the restaurant that was already in the courtyard was turned into the Welcome Inn, ready for the Wicker Man ride. Last year, the GCI Woody, can't wait to get back on that in 10 days time. And of course, replacing that courtyard, well, what looks to be replacing the courtyard, but we don't know yet as confirmation, is of course the brand new family maze or zone, Darkest Depths. So I've got a feeling Darkest Depths replacing the Welcoming and replacing House of Monsters, because there's been no mention of House of Monsters. It was still good from what I heard from reviews, but it seemed like House of Monsters is coming to an end now, so I believe that's now been retired, so because there was no mention of it on the website. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. No Freak Show Scare Zone announced. No House of Monsters, no welcoming anymore. I'm guessing the welcoming was removed now that Wicker Man's been invested and it's been open for a year now, so they don't really need to, because the welcoming was always a tease to the Wicker Man theme, to the SW8 theme. So now that Wicker Man's been open a year, like now that SW8's been open a year, they don't really need to tease it or build it up anymore, so they need to remove that and get something in that's more Mutiny Bay and less Wicker Man. So I think that's why they've gone with, if it is in the courtyard, I'm guessing that's why they've gone with something like Darkest Depths. So big news coming out of Scarefest 2019. The full lineup's been revealed. And there we go. The last time I did a full lineup reveal for Halloween 2019 was, of course, York May's Howler Scream, and I'm really excited for that lineup. That's definitely an event that's, you know, 80% confirmed to be going to, because I really want to go back to York May's Howler Scream this year. Really want to go back for the opening night. You know, the Maze guys were brilliant at York May's Howler Scream, but like I said, it's been a dream of mine to go back to Alton Towers Scarefest, especially with that Scare Combi Ticket where you get Project 42, Subspecies, and Altonville Mine Tours. If I do go, I really don't mind paying extra for the Attic Terror of the Towers and Darkest Depths just to experience those attractions, because I think it's only fair. But there we go. That's the full lineup for Alton Towers Scarefest 2019. Thank you very much for watching this YouTube video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. And for now, guys, my name is Curse, YouTube channel Doncaster Born, but built for theme park news. Keep it in the Curse life, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care, have an awesome day, my friends.